Alright, quick little sound checking while I'm getting everything ready. Won't start for another few minutes, so just hang out until then. Alright, that came in pretty quietly, so let me turn the music down a little bit. See how this comes in. Cranked it down just a tiny smidge more. Seems like it should be alright. I'll probably be talking closer into the microphone than I am right now anyway, just out of habit, so it shouldn't be too bad. And again, it won't be too much of a focus on the actual commentary and dialogue and all that. I just want to make sure that everything, none of the audio's clashing too hard with each other. This is some pretty big bambino behavior coming from this game. Look around, I implore you. Okay. I once had a Picto box of that quality. Gallery upstairs. Oh. So what do I gotta show him a picture of? Maybe just a little in and out. Give him a little Ricky up and down. Well, how do I be your assistant? This is my Nintendo Wii U. Have you seen it? Oh, ho, ho, ho. What particularly do I have to do to get the Deluxe Pictobox? Aha. You have to go upstairs first. For my first command, a love letter. Spy on somebody with the mail. That's fucking Fire Mario. The good news is there was an active file. Who knows how long I'd actually been working on it. You know, the last time I touched it was like a year ago, but as you can see, there's even more than we did on... I clearly went out of my way to do this, at least. But I never made it past the actual Forsaken Fortress the second time, which is perfectly fine, because that's exactly where we need to be. So the whole point of what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to do like some daily stream type of content with this. I'm going to try to turn it into, at least. And, yeah, I'm just going to be doing the Pictobox, the Nintendo Gallery. But I need the Deluxe Pictobox, which requires this quest. So I gotta wait for Manfred Man, over here. This dude. He's gotta get all the way to where he's going. Oh. I can't just snake eater my way out of this? Okay. Oh man, this is already good hype content. Yeah, I've got all the footage for Armored Core 6. I did like a new file, new playthrough to start clean. I'm thinking about just splitting the footage into, you know, a few like 90-minute long chunks and then just make streams out of that. You know, the pre-played stuff, and then just chill out and give commentary to the action that I've already, you know, put out there. See if I can inspire some commentary. Same thing with Metal Gear, it's already out there too, the content is. I got Delta Snake Eater just around the time the channel was slowing down, so that's basically all I've been doing, or all I was doing for like a week or two. I didn't really feel like streaming, I didn't have everything set up for it either, so... You know, I just recorded it. No commentary, no nothing. Much easier that way. But the worst part's still going to be reviewing. It was like 23 hours, almost 24 hours total. At least a good fifth of that is cutscenes that I'm not going to edit or abridge at all, so that's good. Minusing a lot of the extended like radio calls that I did, you know, for content creation's sake. Get away from me. So anyway, I see you jumping around, but I like to walk. I'm strolling. I like to stroll about and shit. I got you, Larry. Oh, now this is intruding on his privacy. Yes, sir. That's this dude up here. And with the Wind Waker HD, you don't have to do the final step of going to get the Firefly for the camera. He just has it, he can make it for you right there, I guess. Yeah, you can totally tell that's old Gumptious. You want to make sure you really see the brown on his pants. Yeah, I feel you. Damn, I should have just gotten a picture of old strolling Larry while I was over there. I think I was too late. Because by the time I took the other guy's picture and got over here, he was already right here. Which means he had long since passed being over here. Which would make sense that they would offset those guys' cycles with one another. Don't want you doing some shit. Though you could hold one up. Blatantly just have him standing there while the other one moves. The Wind Waker HD, but I played the whole thing like this. All strolling Magoo. Sorry, I didn't ask for that one yet. Okay. So show him that one. And then I'll ask for 2 lovers or whatever. Hell yeah. So that saves some time. So now we can store up to 12, and they're all in color. Now here's the thing. We'd have to start over in order to get like a lot of the necessary stuff, which means we'd have to beat the game from the point at which we're at. Which, you know, we've only just beaten the Tower of the Gods, but that means that all we have to do is go to the Forsaken Fortress for the second time. And after that, we can go back to Hyrule with Tetra. And it doesn't look like something too hard to just do the barrier skip. You can apparently do it with the grappling hook, and I don't think... I hope you don't need anything else. I don't think you need to do the Earth or Wind Temples for nothing. Where am I going? Forsaken Fortress. That's... I guess we're as close as we're gonna get, huh? So we are gonna have to play through the Forsaken Fortress at least. Which won't take long. It's really just the 2 boss fights, as long as I don't fuck up too much. But yeah, if all works well, we should be able to do the barrier skip. It seems like we're just lining ourselves up and then using the grappling hook at the right spot to like push ourselves through it, and it like squeezes you out like a pimple. And then there shouldn't be anything that you can't do without the items you have already. You might need to implement another skip, but if need be, I'll look into that as well. Because worst comes to worst, even if it takes a couple hours to nail it, you know, between now and the next session, that's still faster than playing through the whole second half of the game, just to restart and play it all again. Because you do need Color Pictobox, or Deluxe Pictobox. And yeah, more Zelda. And you think it's been long since we've had Zelda on the channel. Don't let the Sonic fans on the channel let you hear that. It was either this or the Chow Garden, but I was also thinking about doing like a Pokemon Kaizo or like a Nuzlocke, something similar. You know, with the hype of it being on Switch. I do have Leaf Green on Switch now, so. And that would be a good time, if any, to drop some guided content, but we won't worry about it. I think you can get the fast sale by now, but I'm not going to do the windfall auctions. And also, yeah, we're finally on HD as well for everybody who asked like every other stream last year. And it looks like there's some dips already. Hopefully that won't be a big problem. It usually isn't, but it's been a very windy day. And yeah, I'm not going to try resetting the stream, because last time it just closed it out completely. So just bear with it if it doesn't work with us. It seems like the dips are mostly affecting the actual video stream and not as much the actual audio, so hopefully my commentary will keep coming through. But, you know, don't be surprised if we get more frequent dips like that later. Be not afraid. Let me get this sweet, sweet boss music started. And I'm gonna see if maybe I can change the frame rate on the stream. It probably won't let me though. Once the stream is started, it tends to lock you out of everything. Haha. Ooh, it even tells you if it's a good one for the dude. That's nice. Anyway, yeah, let's take a second right here and hopefully maybe if I lock it to like a 30 frames per second. That didn't seem to be as much of an issue before, so let's see if that corrects our problems. May as well. That sure did it. And of course, another benefit on the Wii U is that the Deluxe Pictobox on this version gives you 12 slots. Whereas in the original, you're restricted to the 3 that you've got no matter what. Which, that makes, you know, going back and forth between the Forest Haven just god-awful. And like I said, it's been a very, very unusually cold day, especially for this time of year in the desert. And it's been real dusty and all that, so you'll mind my voice if it sounds a little disgusting. I'm also pretty out of practice, as you more regular viewers may already know. And I don't know that I heard any specific rumors, but I have heard people saying something about like Ocarina of Time 3D getting ported or remade, or... I don't usually take that for anything though. I always thought it would be cool, if anything, if they would do Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, like in a dual pack. But why do that when you could sell 2 separate $60 games? So they probably won't ever do that, but I would like those versions to be updated. I'd like these versions to be updated, honestly. Still just as loud. But at the same time, I also don't mind having, you know, a good reason for my Wii U to be exclusive. Or just retain more value. Because I've got Twilight Princess HD on here too. I also tried to port over the save files from the Gamecube Zeldas, you know, all the ones that I played on the gameplay series. But I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get the actual data to transfer. I needed to... I think Dolphin, the Dolphin emulator, actually has like a memory card editing software built in. You know, just like a GameCube would have to manage save data. So I think that can do it. I would just need to have both individual like memory card files, because that's the way emulators like this do it. Whenever you create save data, it basically makes a memory card for each save file, as opposed to having a bunch of save files set to one game or one memory card. Oh. But if I can do that, I'd like to especially touch on Majora's Mask again. I never got all the masks, never finished all that stuff. And yeah, ever since my internet got beefed up a little bit, streaming at the higher resolution is at least pretty nice. Because even for the GameCube games, it wasn't as noticeable because they were already older and fuzzier, but... Oh, I gotta click for first person. I guess I should have gone the other way. That should do it. I also never played Master Quest. Well, I can't do that either. Ow. Anyway, Wind Waker seemed like a pretty safe thing to start back up with. People really seemed to like it, at least last time. No! Okay. Thought it was gonna lock me into that. I wish I would have remembered just you know, Deku Leaf over there. Could have just Deku Leafed. So strictly speaking, if you're going to implement the barrier skip, you don't have to do most of the game up until here. You do have to do this. And you have to play like the first 2 temples long enough to get the grappling hook and the Deku Leaf. But then you just do some, you know, some glitching and some whatnot, and you do whatever it is, the super fast swimming. You gotta like pause buffer it, which requires you to be playing with the gamepad, I guess, to do it properly. But yeah, just enough to get those items. And then you line up some other stuff. You gotta get like the bomb bag, the quiver, because I think whenever you know, break past a certain point, that's all before you would come to the Forsaken Fortress. Sorry, I thought it was gonna go by itself. I forgot I was playing Zelda. Yeah, I guess it'll correct it, and as long as you have those things, it'll give you the corresponding items too. So with all that in mind, I should have all the equipment I need. Alright, here comes the actual boss fight with the Helmasaur King. So I'm going to take, you know, like a 20-30 second water break when it starts. So, you know, don't mind me. I'll still be right here, of course. Let's get our picture while we're at it. We'll save it right there. And yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow, but hopefully by tonight or by this next like hour or less, we can actually beat the game. So it's just, let's see if I don't mess up this barrier skip. Oh god, I forgot about this Pokemon and old music. No! I'll take a proper break here after the fight though, you know, during the cutscene. Or during the cutscene, yeah. Pretty sure that's exactly what I said. Jeez, took him long enough. Must have been hanging around too close to him. An auto button would have been something very good for Zelda to have had a long time ago. It's been a while, boy. Gerald. I like how this Link knows nothing about Ganondorf, so he just saw this man and was just like, oh god. Just fucking thought that upon looking at him. Yeah, and this is where Tetra comes out and just kicks him in the chest. Go back to Hyrule and do the barrier skip. Whatever you say. Okay, I'll do my little break right here while Link catches his breath to this pirate shanty. He's struggling to breathe like he just got kicked in the ribs. So again, this is just like an episode 0 type of thing, because I gotta get this new file started with the Deluxe Pictobox, and then we're gonna go out of our way to photograph pretty much everything. At least the critical, non-repeatable stuff from the beginning. Most other things we can go back for. And in case you were wondering, some of the more, you know, like rare characters, you actually have to get them from Lenzo himself. Things like Lord Jaboon and a few other ones. They're like legendary pictographs that you have to get from him. So basically you have to take a picture of something else, and then in response, I think, he gives you those. And then you use those legendary pictographs to get the corresponding figurines. Which is actually the reason why he doesn't like photographs of the King of Red Lions, because the only way to get the King of Red Lions figurine is to complete the Nintendo gallery. It gives you a figurine of Toon Link sailing around in him. I'll be sure to have like a checklist. understand you implicitly. Well, I don't. You'll be pleased to hear that I also have spent 0 hours translating any of the Hylian from the original gameplay series, like almost a whole year ago too, so you're welcome. Alright, this should be it though. From this point on, we shouldn't be able to leave Hyrule anymore, assuming we can get our barrier skip. The fucking pose right here, man. That's the image I used, as a matter of fact, for the gameplay series. The one you'll find in the description. I'm pretty sure it's in the description. It sure is. Alright, I'll probably have to, like, stop for a second and look this up, too. Okay. Oh, it like bounces. Okay, so that's kind of what I was trying to do, but it was just the wrong way. Alright, yeah, give me a second to look at this while I let you just stare at these fools. Alright, let's see. Alright, I found a video, so... Alright, let me try this. Alright, so it looks like quite a bit to do. Probably don't want Tetra with it either. Oh, duh. Worst case scenario, if it ends up being like this ridiculous trick, wouldn't be the worst thing to collect some of the pictographs along the way. And then basically just run the game back to this point. I wonder if I actually should have just quit at that point. I think I'm going to, because I just saved. Because I want to copy this save file too. Because things like that are worth practicing. So let's do that. Are you the one playing on my phone? So gossip stones became that thing. Time shift stones are what, you know, are commonly accepted as being the material for the Ocarina of Time itself. There's some other connections, just can't think of them. And then Breath of the Wild brought back red Zoras alongside Rito. Which, you know, that could be its own thing. We know there's different Zoras. There's the white Zoras from like Ocarina of Time. There's those red Zoras. And then there's the green Zoras, which are like just, you know, they're more simple and just violent. They're the enemies from A Link to the Past. So there's no... You know, maybe the white Zora were like freshwater Zora, spring water type of Zora. And that's why they died out from the flood and had to become Rito. Whereas maybe red Zora, you know, fuck with the ocean and whatnot. So they didn't care, they were just like sweet. Red Zora completely dominated, and then white Zora became... yeah, Rito. I also wouldn't be surprised, going by that same logic, if, you know, the red Zora just killed off the green Zora, because the green Zora aren't intelligent. So with these other Zora, with the other intelligent Zora completely out of the picture, and just, you know, dumbass green Zora and more powerful, more intelligent red Zora left to thrive. Although you'd think there'd be more evidence of that in Wind Waker if that were true. Not as if Zelda really considered so much of that itself, but it can make some sense if you force it to. Oh, she's sweet flickering. So we'll give this item sliding, whatever it is, we'll give it a shot, but the most logical thing then otherwise, if that ends up being too much trouble, would be to just go on from here. Which I couldn't get a picture of Zelda. I could have gotten one of Tetra though. Damn. Now I gotta wait to get a picture of Zelda. Yeah, because it's still pretty specific. I thought it was just a matter of, you know, wiggling on through it, which that is the way you do it, but it's got to be at a very specific... you know, part of this map. I'm also not sure if it's necessary to have the Wii U, because whenever I see other people do it online, it's always with the Wii U's pause menu, because if you're playing on the Wii U, it displays this on the gamepad, and then on the screen it just says paused. And that's the way that everybody does it, so I'm hoping that's not necessary. So yeah, it's the most powerful glitch currently known in this game, allowing Link to gain speed indefinitely at an exponential rate. Link can move around while aiming with an item in first-person mode. If Link is walking in a direction and then tries to walk in the opposite direction with the slightest tilt of the analog stick, his speed ends up increasing exponentially in the direction he was first walking. That are so high the game will crash if the speed is released too late or charged for too long. Well, that doesn't sound fun. Give me another second. Oh. So that is easy. So I don't know how clearly you could hear that other person through my microphone. And yeah, as we can see, no, it doesn't need to be the Wii U gamepad, it's just the pause. Whoops. So yeah, just like go forward, and then while holding that direction, pause, and then unpause, and then just as slightly as you can hold the opposite direction. That was too strong. Oh, the stairs stopped me. Man, that is awesome. So now I can call back to the other one. Now I can understand maybe what the fuck this dude's talking about. Okay, cool. Oh, I went the wrong way. Alright, so the point is to do that. Yeah, you get hit, and then you run in, and on the very last frame, you try to whip out the Wind Waker. That's what I've been trying to do the whole time. So... Well, now I think that's permanent, too. No, it's not permanent. If you're flashing red, you didn't get it. Oof. I can get it. I also need to figure out how to incorporate some of these, like frame tracking softwares into the Siphon Filter speedrun. Because when those random freak accidents happen, I'd like to know exactly what was going on. Yes. Alright, so we're up against the wall. Let me take a look back at this video. Okay, so I've got to find a specific angle. So it looks like I'm going off of the crest on the top left is what this person's telling me to do. It looks, I guess, as close as I'm gonna get it. It's not like I can dramatically zoom in and see for myself. So I'm gonna have to do that item slide thing, but I'm gonna have to like double up. I'm gonna have to like wiggle back and then wiggle forward. And then set myself askew, I guess. Sounds like something I'm not gonna be able to do on the first try. So I'm not gonna hold it the whole time, I'm just gonna like correct myself, and then once I L target it like forces me to the right, it's saying. And yeah, that's about it. So it's just a matter of whether or not I can do it. So let's give it a try. We'll probably have to set it all back up again, but oops. No, I did it backwards. I flew to the left. But if I can do that right with the proper angle, it'll do the same thing, but it'll squeeze me through the other side and we'll barrier skip. So every time you blast out of it, though, you gotta do this part again. There we go. You want to be closer, it seems, to getting hit than to not getting hit with the timing. Like if you screw up, it's better to have gotten hit than to nail it and then be flashing. No, I didn't do the slide that time. Oh, okay, good. Okay, it's kind of annoying to do, but it's nothing horribly complex. Ooh. Okay, I got the slide that time, but I didn't rearrange, I didn't correct it going forward, so it shot me out right away. I guess I'm supposed to veer back again. Kind of like shifting gears. No, it's not working. All right, keep trying it. I'm probably gonna have to pull up that video one more time because I must be missing something. Oh. I'm afraid that if I angle it the other way, though, it won't work. Maybe it meant to veer it all the way forward and then just pull it back without actually releasing the movement. No. Getting better. We're actually like flying out of the wall. It's just not in the way that we need it to. No, I'm at a major loss here. Because they expressly state to pull forward, but only for about a second. And then to completely release forward. Before switching to the L target and triggering the slide and all that. But whenever I try to do, you know, what it says just by those instructions, I lose momentum and I end up just walking. I don't slide. So something's wrong. Absolutely. Okay. Let me get back in this position. Okay, let me hold this and let's see. Okay, so I think I understand how to actually work the controller. But let me just make sure I've got the precise angle right. Not just by the visual, but by... Okay, this seems like I've been getting just about the right angle regardless. Oh, okay. Can we do it? So I'm not actually moving, that's just the built-up speed. Damn it. Take another glance at this video, because I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing something or if I'm just missing the angle. Most likely I'm missing the angle, it's very slim. All right. Pretty much good. So I think I got it. Well, I got stuck in the right place. I might just not have been fast enough. Which means I need to build up a little more speed. Which means just holding it for like a second or so longer. Or like a half second longer. Damn. Okay, that's pretty much the angle. Before I give this another go, I'm gonna take me my little minute-long break. And when I said it was cold, it's like really cold. My hands are like hurting. I don't want to blame too much of that on my mishap with the speedrun earlier. Siphon filter, not Wind Waker. But it did end up bothering me by the end of it. I am also recording near some poorly insulated windows now, though, so when it's cold, I feel it. All right, let's try this again. I don't know why I keep thinking the slide's gonna pull opposite. Those last couple of times that I did it, where I got stuck like right in the middle, that would have been, I think, the right angle. I just fucked up the momentum going into each of those. But as far as the positioning goes, I seem to have that down as closely as you can with the naked eye. But that leaves the challenge of actually doing the thing. Okay, well. We'll give this another go tomorrow. Give it a couple more tries right now, but... I must be holding forward too long right there. And if the angle's off even by a little bit, it slides you out of it the other way, I see. Come on, one more. So if my spatial reasoning is correct, I should correct the angle, you know, to the right a little bit. On the control stick at least. I don't know what that would translate to the actual angle on screen. Because I think I can sort of see the way that Link's being tossed around. Come on. So doing it like this seems to push me so much to this to the right so immediately that it kind of vaults me left. Or no, it kind of, yeah, it angles me enough that way that I slide out the other way. So if I go more, if I reveal a little bit more of it like that, this should keep me from sliding out. I was right about that, at least. it's so precise. Okay, yeah, we'll save some of that for tomorrow. I can see about where the angle is too far, where it'll send me back out this way. I'm just not getting the angle where it gets me past this point. I'm getting locked in the correct space. As long as I don't move the control stick once I get launched, it'll hold me right there. But the idea is that I'm supposed to accelerate enough that it just like just kind of shits me out the other side towards those stairs. Which the stairs themselves will kill the momentum, and you know what I mean, you'll land and we'll be able to go over there, but we'll do more of that tomorrow. We do have selfie cam now. Fucking more barrier skip tomorrow. Oh shit. This is the only face reveal you're gonna get. This is the type of stuff I do really with my face. But yeah, if this ends up being, it doesn't seem like it'll be impossible now that I understand everything that's happening. I'll just have to spend a good few hours looking at, maybe not a good few hours, but a good hour or so looking at the actual stuff, looking at a variety of videos, see if I can't get a slightly better explanation, or better yet, you know, somebody doing this with one of those controls. You know, with like the control display on the screen. One of the other guys was, but he was using a completely different method that I didn't really get the gist of what he was doing. And the dude was more or less just, you know, spouting out a bunch of technical babble. He wasn't actually explaining anything. This other guy was a lot better at explaining, but he didn't have the controls on display, so I couldn't see exactly what was going on with the analog sticks and all that. But I'll try to get that figured out, and hopefully by tomorrow evening around the same time, we can stream that, and it won't take longer than some 30 or so minutes to actually do the barrier skip. And we should have everything we need from this point on to get... It's just like, what, the light arrows and all this other stuff. But that should be all you need, even if the Master Sword's not powered up. I'm sure the game will correct that with, like, you know, the proper flags and all that once you load into Ganon's environment. So come back tomorrow at the same time. I probably won't stream this long tomorrow. It just depends on how long it actually takes to do the barrier skip and then actually beating the game altogether. But we've got the Deluxe Pictobox, so we'll be able to start the new file with the camera, and then we'll actually officially start, you know, this endeavor. It could take months, however long. Some weeks I might be more active with it than others. I might not stream it, you know, for a good few days, weeks at a time, if I just don't feel like streaming or want to stream something else. But this will be something cool we can do in the background, especially throughout this year that I'm not going to be doing as many intensive streams. But I've got all that Delta Snake Eater footage, Armored Core 6, Fantasy Life footage. I'll work that into the years somewhere. That'll be my project for the year, is editing that stuff. And yeah, I'll find whatever else to stream. Probably touch on some more Zelda while I find an excuse to get Skyward Sword out, finally. And, you know, we'll see what we can do. So enjoy this, and then I'll close out the stream in a few minutes. Just keep an eye out and come back at the same time tomorrow.